What's going on, you guys? It's Anthony Gonzalez with another G-Fit video. Today we are doing muscle ups, L-sits and L-sit to handstand progressions. Prior to anything we ever do on any of my videos, we always focus on our warm-ups, focusing on engaging whatever we're about to activate. Today we're focusing more on our rotators and our lats and our lumbars. As we got ready for our muscle ups, we focused on our shoulders and focused on really stretching and isolating our shoulders all the way back and all the way forward. We utilize the PVC pipe because it gives us more mobility and it gives us more of a range of motion to engage our shoulders and engage our back. Doing muscle ups is very crucial to focus on your warm-up because that movement requires the full body movement. I see a lot of people pinching nerves. I've even injured myself doing muscle ups, so I don't want this to happen to you. So focus on these warm-ups we're going through right now. Hanging from the bar in the muscle up, placing your hands in the muscle up ready position. I would call it the head in, the head out. Turtle head in, turtle head out. Envision a turtle picking its head in and picking its head out. So as you turn to the side, your head's in and your head's out. Engaging your shoulders, engaging your traps, getting all this activating, getting it all warmed up because during this movement, you're gonna be focusing on it a lot. First thing about a muscle up, we're focusing on a pull up, but not your ordinary pull up, not the chest to the bar pull up as you normally see. On this motion, we're focusing on doing a pull up, but keeping our separation from the bar and building up momentum to shoot forward because as we progress forward, we want to be able to get our separation from the bar so we can utilize our wrist strength to pull ourselves forward. I see a lot of people do strict pull-ups, and what ends up happening is that they end up getting stuck right at the bar and they end up having to fight for it, which is perfectly fine. That's why it's called a muscle up. Most people don't understand that a muscle up is called a muscle up because you have to muscle your way up. Today we had my client, once again, Ian, who has never done a muscle up, never focused on technique, never focused on the little things we're gonna go through in this video. At the beginning, he found it very difficult to find the rhythm because doing a muscle up, you have to be engaged in the one rhythm. You have to be in sync. You have to transition all the way up, all the way down. You can't do it in steps. You got to learn in steps, but as you progress, you need to focus on combining it all into one motion. He was having difficulty finding his balance, finding his rhythm, so he started breaking little things down. We scooted over to a smaller bar because Ian wasn't understanding that he needs to focus on the turning of the wrist, because the turning of the wrist plays a huge role because if you focus on your flexibility in your wrist and transitioning up, you're going to get that muscle up because most people get stuck right at the transition stage. Instead of turning the wrist, they get stuck right there. Don't let this happen to you. Notice how he had to use one hand prior to the other hand. It's perfectly fine because he got the rhythm down, he got the balance down, and he finally was able to do it, as you can see in his video and in his face. The kipping momentum. A lot of people have pros and cons against this kipping momentum with the pull-ups and CrossFit. You see a lot of people doing this worm-like, funny type movement, and you're like, what the hell is this? It's a kip. It's a kipping pull-up, it's a kipping momentum. What it helps you do is help activate your whole body into one. It activates your shoulders. It helps you get your mobility in your shoulder so you get to transition to the pull-up, and when you get to the pull-up, you can transition yourself up to the muscle up. Now we're on the L-sits. L-sits are a big hit. Everyone loves these L-sits, and the reason why they love them is because anybody could learn them. Anybody could do them. It doesn't matter where you're at, you can do them. All you gotta do is focus on the little things. So the first thing on the L-sit, you need to stabilize your shrugs and get your lats out. Watch my lats, I engage my lats. The next thing you wanna focus on is your grip. Establish your hands, establish your palms, and get a good grip wherever you're gonna do it at. If you can't hold an L-sit, it's perfectly fine. I wasn't able to hold the L-sit when I first started. I couldn't even freaking do a handstand. I couldn't even do any of this stuff. I started with small movements. If you can't lift 100 pounds, what do you do to get to 100 pounds? You do 10 pounds, you do 20 pounds. Same thing with body weight. You gotta do small steps prior to doing the big steps. So focusing on these little movements, one foot out, one knee in, establishing your lats, holding it for a few seconds, and then trying to transition yourself from a push-up position to an L-sit, using momentum to swing up and swing back. Doing an L-sit doesn't mean you need to hold an L-sit. That takes core, that takes strength, that takes conditioning. So utilizing your feet as momentum to shoot back and shoot forward engages your core. Look at my core. My core is engaged the whole time. Because holding yourself up requires you to hold and focus on your core the whole time, squeezing it tight. It is a great ab workout. Every time I do movements like this, my abs are on fire. Whenever I have any of my clients do this, the same thing. Transitioning from the L-sit to the handstand is all rhythm. The momentum is going to help you transition to the handstand. Once you get up to the handstand, it's all you. You know, I can give you a bunch of tips, but it just takes time and practice. You're not going to get it the first time. You're not going to get it the second time. You probably won't get it the 20th time. You got to continuously try, continuously fail, continuously achieve. That's how it works. Bodyweight movements are beautiful. Anybody could do bodyweight movements. If you see movements like this, and you're like, oh, what is he doing this for? He doesn't even do this. Then you're crazy, because this requires core, this requires flexibility, this requires strength, this requires conditioning, this requires everything. And it's your own body weight. Yeah, you could lift 200 pounds, but you can't pick your weight up. Same thing with the muscle up. A muscle up and an L-sit to a handstand is one of the most alpha body weight movements there is out there. This concludes our video today, but I just want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching them. And if you have any questions, any comments, just leave them below and let me know. But more importantly, don't be afraid to subscribe. Thank you.